Okay, we're on page 2 of the linear functions practice test. And page 2 only has 2 questions on it, but they have a lot of steps to them because we're going to be writing our own systems. And again, it looks real hard because it's a lot of words and we don't like a lot of words. Well, we're going to try to simplify this down. Question 4 says Gym A has an initial fee of $50 and a monthly fee of $10. Gym B has an initial fee of $30 and a monthly fee of $15. Which system can be used to find the membership time required for each gym at the same cost? Here's the nice thing. We don't have to find the cost because it's going to find the cost for us. We just need to find when the months when these two equations are going to be the same. So for that, we're going to say y is going to equal our total or our gyms. So each of these equations are going to equal y. Okay? Gym A has an initial fee and a monthly fee. We don't know how many months, so that's our x. Okay? Gym B has an initial fee and a monthly fee of $15. Again, that's our x. So we have a starting point that you have to pay for each gym, no matter how many months you use it, plus you have a monthly cost. So for Gym A, we're going to say y equals our initial cost is $50 plus our monthly cost, which is 10, and x for our month. We don't know how many months. Gym B is the same thing. Use the same pattern. $30 for the initial cost plus $15 for each month. So there's our system. That's part 1 of that. They say, what's your system? There's your system. Gym A, Gym B. Now it says, what is the same cost? We need to find the months, which means we need to find the x. Since these are both y equal, we can set them up to being equal to each other. 30 plus 15x. Let's subtract that 10x. Each side. Bring down your 50. Plus 5x. Now subtract 30 from each side. 5x equals 20. Kind of move it up here. Still on my page. Good. 20 equals 5x. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. X equals 4 months. And that's your answer when both those equations will be the same. So remember, an initial fee, whatever you start out with, just like your starting point in the graph we did on page 1. That's not going to change no matter how many points you have. That starting point is always the same. So that's how we can move on to that number. Okay. 5. Roger is buying pens and pencils. Pens cost $3. Pencils cost $2. He plans on spending no more than $10 and wants to buy at least 6 items. Yuck, lots of words. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring out my fun sheet that you will all have access on your test tomorrow too. Okay, because we are writing an inequality. We're going to have pens be our x. We're going to have pencils be our y. Okay? So, we're going to write a system. First thing we need to remember is that we're going to keep money with money, totals with totals. Okay? So if we're keeping money with money, we know that pens are $3, but we don't know how many pens. Oh, I just did that. Bad me. 3x. Because x is going to be our pens. Okay? Plus we know that pencils cost 2, but we don't know how many pencils. It says that he's spending no more than $10. That's where you want to use this sheet, because down here it says no more. We're going to use this sign. $10. Good. Money with money. Totals with totals. We know we need to buy pens. We know we need to buy pencils. It says at least 6 items. Down here we see which symbol we're going to use for at least. That's our system. But now it wants us to graph it. We can't graph in standard form. I mean, we probably could if we found the zeros, but that's a little more time consuming. So what we're going to do is we're going to put both of these in y equals mx plus b form. This one's pretty easy because I have y plus, or x plus y less than 6. Let's subtract the x, subtract the x. 6 minus x. Okay, so I see my starting point is 6. 1, am I still on here? Yep, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My slope is going to be negative 1 over 1 because I have a negative in front of that. Down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Okay, there's our line. Our red line's a little uglier, so stick with me. I'm still on the video. I keep thinking I'm going off. 3x plus 2y greater than or equal to 10. We're going to take this whole term, 3x, and move it over. I'm going to get 2y is greater than or equal to 10 minus 3x. But we still need y by itself, so we have to multiply everything by 2. That's going to get y is greater than or equal to 2 into 10 is 5 minus, I'm going to keep this in fraction form, 3 over 2x. It's not wrong if you put it in decimal form, but then you're not going to get rise over run to be able to graph it. Because in this form that it's in, I'm going to know that 5 is my starting point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I know I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 2. Down 3, 2, 3 over 2. So on first glance, it really looks like these two lines are almost parallel. We can see that where they cross is going to be off of our chart. And that's okay, because question C says, what is one possible combination of pencils and pens Roger could buy? This is where our shading becomes important. We're going to look at our blue equation. We're going to match it up right down here, sign with sign. So we're going to go blue. Here's our sign. Blue, we're shading below the line. So I'm going to kind of just, right. And you can probably see where this is going. For the red line, we have here, here, we're shading above the line. And you can see we have this just tiniest little margin of error area where our blue and red is going to make purple. Those of you who are good with that. And that's where our answer is. Here's where it becomes important. You can take any point in that shaded area, that's going to be an answer. But we want a smart point. So if I pick this point right here, let's take this. Right smack dab in the middle of that shaded area. And I do my x, 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 3. And then my y going up is going to be 2. And remember, my x is pens. My y is pencils. And that's an answer. You could have come down to this point right here and said 1, 2, 3, 4 pens and 1 pencil. That would have been right. What you didn't want to do is come down here. You don't want to say 6 pens and -1 pencils. You can't have -1 pencils. That's not a real world, like an adult world answer. Likewise, you wouldn't want to do 2.5 and 5.5. While there are points in the shaded area, you're not going to have half a pen, you're not going to have half a pencil. So you're going to want to be able to have your answer to be an adult world answer where Roger is actually buying this many pens and pencils. Okay, that's page 2. Okay, let's go to page 3.